Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin shortly. We ask that you please take your seats and silence all electronic devices for the ceremony. We encourage you to take as many pictures as you would like during the ceremony. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate with us. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct honor to welcome all of you today for this special occasion. The promotion of Senior Master Sergeant Franchesca Sterling. I am Ms. Rita Upchurch from the Joint Staff J5 Western Hemisphere Division, and I will be your narrator for today's ceremony. Officiating today's ceremony is Deputy Commander of the 319th Reconnaissance Wing, Colonel Bashani Whitmore. Throughout the ceremony, you will be given cues to rise and to be seated at the appropriate times. In addition, during our national anthem, military members should stand at attention, while civilians should place their right hand over their hearts. Before we begin today's ceremony, we would like to recognize our distinguished guests. We are pleased to extend a special welcome to Senior Master Sergeant Sterling's family, beginning with her parents, Frank and Maureen, her sister, Anna Sterling Douglas, brother-in-law, William Douglas, and nephew, William Douglas, also known as Deuce. She is also joined by her aunts, Irene, Sissy, and Val, Uncle Steve, and members of her church. As well as Senior Master Sergeant Sterling's mentors, friends, family, and former supervisors who have traveled to be in attendance today. Your presence here today means a great deal to Senior Master Sergeant Sterling as she celebrates this significant milestone in her Air Force career. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the official party. And we remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation by Ms. Janet Cypress.
Let us bow our heads. Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for covering all the branches of the military. Lord, I want to thank you for protecting them, Lord. Continue to walk with them, guide them, Lord Jesus. Cover them as they go different places to their call of duty, Lord Jesus. And also, Lord, a special prayer to one of our own, Franchesca Sterling. Lord, continue to lead her and guide her. Protect our military. In your precious and holy name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. Thank you, Ms. Cypress, for the invitation. Today, we are celebrating Senior Master Sergeant Sterling's journey as she embarks on this career milestone of promoting to Senior Master Sergeant. This moment is the pinnacle of an enlisted member's career. The rank of Senior Master Sergeant was established by Congress 1 September 1958, and the ceiling was set at 2.5% of the enlisted force. Ladies and gentlemen, the Deputy Commander of the 319th Reconnaissance Wing, presiding official for today's ceremony, Colonel Bashani Whitman.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Raise this up. Okay. Well, it's a pleasure to be here with you today as we celebrate Fran and her promotion from Master Sergeant to Senior Master Sergeant in the United States Air Force. It is a true honor and a privilege to actually be here to see the church that she calls home, that she spoke about so much. So it's a true pleasure for myself. This is a unique venue, and I know that not a lot of people may be familiar with military-type traditions, and so I do want to say thank you for everybody that helped put this together so that we could do this today. So Fran herself, obviously, but also the whole church, the Cypress, thank you so much for bringing the distinction and dignity to the event that it deserves. One of the things that's very apparent to me is that nobody makes it to the senior military ranks without a strong support network. It's very obvious by the crowd, the warmth, the richness of just being here for a couple of minutes, that she's had that for a very long time. So I appreciate that. I also want to say thank you to the guests that were already mentioned, but Frank, Maureen, Anna, all the aunts and uncles that are able to be here, both in place and virtually, because this is such a special event. Now, I do want to add a little bit to what the narrator just said, to put some framework around just how incredible this accomplishment is. So while there has been only 2.5% of the active duty enlisted Air Force is able to be a senior master sergeant, I need you to understand that there are 250,000 enlisted members in the Air Force. So that means only about 6,250 actually get to wear this rank out of 250,000. That is an incredible distinction, very difficult. I also want to say that when she actually went up for this promotion, 15,100 individuals also competed against her. And only about 1,700 made it, so about 11%. She has proven time and time again that she's able to perform well above her current stature, and it's been really impressive to watch. That 7th stripe that she's currently wearing and will wear further is an important distinction, and you almost want to think of it like the rings on a tree, because each stripe is this building block to experience challenges that she's faced and successes that she's achieved. Now, it would take me far too long to go through all of her accomplishments. I'm sure she could save that for her retirement, but I do want to be able to spell out a couple of things that are important to me, some highlights, because I know not everybody actually has been able to go to many of her promotion ceremonies. So I want to show you how she got to where she is now. So if you'll humor me. Just really quick to set context, For those of you who are not in the military or have to serve, we separate our enlisted into 3 tiers. You have airmen, which are the first 4 ranks. You have non-commissioned officers, which are the 5th and the 6th. And then you have the senior non-commissioned officers, which are 7, 8, 9. So she is at 7, promoting to 8, and she only has 1 more to go if she shows up. So, we'll take a step back to this airman level. When she first shows up back in 2006, and not much is actually expected. She's just supposed to kind of learn her job, make sure she doesn't fumble over things, just make sure she's a positive impact on the unit. Comes in 2006, and the Air Force is a little bit different back then. We had come out of the Cold War, so we had basically truncated down from 600,000 to about 350,000. The reason why that's important is because now the Air Force is saying we are putting a premium on recruiting and retaining top talent. Next, we also were about 5 years removed from 9/11. So we had obviously pivoted to a very different environment in the military. The military was focused on the global war on terrorism and the counterinsurgency, and the Air Force was laser focused on that. And that's what she walked into with her right personality. And she took it, she hit the ground running. As she shows up to Pope, she is actually one of the individuals working on all our information technology systems, getting people access to both unclassified and classified systems, which is highly important to the mission. As she continues, the one thing you'll notice throughout her career is that not only does she do well in her job, her current job, but she actually is recognized by individuals to be pulled up to higher levels of responsibility. So that's actually what happened. She got pulled to be in the commander support staff at a squadron of about 160 individuals, where she's managing all the administration for that. But then she gets noticed again and says, no, we need that talent even higher. And so they bring her up to the group, which manages about 5 units, which is about 1,100 people, and now she's handling all the administration. Now, not only is she killing it at her job, but she also is doing a lot of other things, a lot of selfless service type things that I can tell she gets this from this kind of family. She's finishing her, she was working on her associates. She found herself volunteering over 100 hours in a variety of capacities, from air shows to councils to volunteering at elementary schools. Oh, by the way, she raises about $8,000 for different charities. One of her supervisors said about her, she's an absolutely superior airman, knowledgeable and ready for increased responsibilities. Promote immediately. And guess what? The Air Force got it right. They promoted. So she goes from the airman tier, where she's just kind of this novice learning things, to the non-commissioned officer. And at that tier, this is staff sergeant and tech sergeant, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. No more are you supposed to just be a technical expert, but you're also supposed to be somebody that masters leadership, communication, and fosters a positive culture within the organization. This is also a time where she has a lot of different opportunities. And so during this 8-9 year time frame, she goes to Incirlik, Turkey, Incirlik Air Base in Turkey, where she's able to do a lot of really interesting things, but her talent and her charisma get her on an Air Force Network commercial, where she's talking about the Air Force's issues. She then goes back to Pope, where she's now the non-commissioned officer that's in charge of one of those commander support staff leading administration for about 250 people flying C-130s. And C-130s are cargo aircraft that fly around the world doing logistics and supply. She's ensuring that the war fighters at the edge have what they need. Then in 2000, while she's there, she just happens to win Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year, a very distinct award for somebody in that position. But that's actually not what is most impressive to me. What's impressive is actually seeing how many people she was in charge of that got recognized. Saying that her mentorship and guidance was being valued, and people were seeing success with that. 2015, she then goes to Grand Forks Air Force Base in North Dakota, which I have the distinction of coming from to be here today. And as I looked at my weather app, it was a steamy -9 degrees. And so while Fran has been telling me she appreciates how much I'm here for her, trust me, I appreciate it. It's a beautiful location, but it's a little tough. While she's there, she's doing administration for, we fly the RQ-4 Global Hawk. It is a high-altitude intelligence surveillance aircraft, which means it flies really high and looks at a lot of things around. The unique thing about that, it makes it so special that we need to get somebody talented or like her there, was that it's actually unmanned. It's remotely piloted. There's no pilot in the actual plane. People from North Dakota are flying planes that are flying in the Middle East or in Europe. And it takes a lot of scientific knowledge, it takes a lot of incredibly talented individuals to do that, and they need somebody that's incredibly talented to manage a lot of that administration. And that's what she did. Then she goes to perhaps her favorite summit, which was Norfolk, at the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, where she got to work with a lot of international partners, and she got to see a lot of fascinating things, go to Spain, go to Italy. But one of the colonels that worked there actually said something really great. He said, "She is the best of my best," and then gave her a promote now. And I just want to explain really quickly what a promote now means. It means that only the top 5% of people of her rank are in that distinction. They're saying, we want her promoted right now. The Air Force has to do it. And that's what the Air Force got it right. They promoted her. And so she moves from the NCO tier to the senior NCO tier. That's where you have Master Sergeant, Senior Master Sergeant, and Chief Master Sergeant. At this point, you're no longer just being a tactical and technical expert is a given. Being a leader is a given. Now we're looking at you to be able to collaborate and form teams and think strategically to help out national objectives. She starts that off by going to one of our most prized national security things, which is going to Malmstrom Air Force Base for a year in Montana. She picks very unique locations to go. And they actually run intercontinental ballistic missiles in terms of national defense. But then they say we need to put her in somewhere a little bit more prestigious because we need some help. So they actually move her to the Pentagon. She goes to work for the J5 on the Joint Staff. And J5 is strategy, plans, and policies, and what that means is a lot of long-term planning to support the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who is the senior military individual advising the President, the Secretary of Defense, and all political leaders. She is a part of the team that is directly influencing how we manage military operations around the world. That's what she's doing. While she's there, she does, this is where I get to hear it, actually. This is where our paths cross. And it was very obvious from the very first day, the type of warm spirit she has, the joy, the intellect, the work ethic, that she was somebody that just has this gravitational pull that people want to be around. And I was one of those people. And I had a pleasure working with her for a period of time, and it's one of my true pleasures in my career. Then we said we actually need somebody to help out one of our struggling sections, managing the war in Russia and Ukraine. And they were really being overburdened, and we needed a really sharp person to manage that administration, and that's where we sent her after that, and that's where she's been. And she's been doing an incredible job with it. So now, at that point, a 2-star general was writing her. In fact, she was working for a 3-star admiral from New York at that time. And what that person said was, Franchesca exemplifies unparalleled professionalism, consistently surpasses expectations, and executes tasks well beyond her assigned grade. So the Air Force got it right. And now the journey continues to Spain on Air Base. So I'll say this to close. Obviously, we like to look at things that you've done as a reason to promote you. But in the military, and in the Air Force in particular, we promote you based on your potential to do greatness at the next level. And I can tell you that's what's needed in the future. There's all kinds of new threats we never expected. There's new domains that we have to worry about. It's no longer fighting on the land, the sea, or the air. Now we have to worry about space, cyber. We have to worry about the electromagnetic spectrum. There's a lot of different domains in which have become new battle spaces. As well as, it's no longer the service that she first joined in terms of us just focusing on Afghanistan or Iraq. Now we've kind of turned our gaze to Russia and China. We're going to need dynamic leaders who are going to be to solve very challenging problems. And I can say that nothing makes me more proud to say that our blood and treasure will be led by and supported by somebody like Fran. So congratulations on your promotion. We're all excited for you. Lead well. Congrats.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the publishing of the orders.
Publish the orders.
Attention to orders. The President of the United States has placed special trust in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Senior Master Sergeant Franchesca L. Sterling. In view of these special qualities and her demonstrated potential to serve in the grade of Senior Master Sergeant Sterling is promoted to Senior Master Sergeant, effective 1 January 2025. By this order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Would Frank and Maureen please come forward to officially place the service code of a Senior Master Sergeant onto Senior Master Sergeant Sterling. To reinforce Senior Master Sergeant Sterling's commitment to the Air Force, Colonel Bashani Whitmore will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Franchesca Sterling,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I will obey the orders
that I will obey the orders
of the President of the United States
of the President of the United States
and the officers
and the officers
appointed over me,
appointed over me,
according to the regulations
according to the regulations
and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Senior Master Sergeant Franchesca L. Sterling.
I know the weather's getting. But I'm gonna take a quick ride. I want to make sure I thank everybody. So,
Good afternoon, everyone.
first, giving honor to God. I believe it was my faith that has brought me through these last 18 years of service. So, thanking Him first. Also, giving honor to the pastor and first lady. Thank you for allowing me to be here today and using the church for this special occasion. Mrs. Wyatt, thank you so much. I texted her, I had this idea, I texted Ms. Wyatt and asked if I could use the church, and about 5 minutes later, she texted back and was like, I'll ask the pastor, and within the same day, we had a yes. So thank you so much for all you do for the church and all you do for me. I really appreciate it. I want to also say thank you to the church family. I could not have done it without you guys. I believe it takes a village, and I just want to thank everybody. I want to call names, but I'm afraid I'll miss people. But thank you, my missionary sisters, everybody. Thank you guys. I know you guys came out in the rain and in the storm, but thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you guys continue to pray with me. I know you guys always ask about me to my parents, so I really do appreciate all of the prayers and the concerns. Thank you. Thank you so much to Ms. Janet for that wonderful prayer. I asked her last minute, I think it was Monday, and she texted right back and was like, sure, so no hesitation, so thank you so much for the lovely prayer. Thank you to, I'm trying to keep it together without getting emotional. I did want to check to see if there was anyone on Zoom. Technology. So I just want to recognize the Zoom people. TT Strand, she's a sister, a friend of my sister's, but she's become family. She's on Zoom saying congratulations. Also, my current supervisor, who's just in the process of PCSing to Japan, Captain Neil Gabriel, United States Navy, is on. So I just want to say hi to him and thank you for allowing me to come into your home. And we also have a lot of people from the church and everything, so thank you guys all for coming. To my friends, this is where it's gonna get emotional. They drove all the way here from Northern Virginia this morning, woke up early. And that's Sergeant Pash, she's United States Marine Corps. PCS to Quantico, and she's my very dear friend. We've been through thick and thin together for these last 3 years. And she's also going to find out her promotion next month, so please keep her in her prayers. And we're praying that we see her. And then Master Sergeant Amanda Pat, who's U.S. Air Force, and his wife, Meredith. They're PCSing as well and driving to Texas. So not only did they take time out of their busy schedule from moving and take the time away from their kids to come out here to support me today, all while they are getting ready to move across the country. I cannot thank them enough. All right. Thank you, guys. Mrs. Upchurch. Mrs. Upchurch, as I call her. We have been through thick and thin for the last 3 years at the Pentagon. She actually came down with me last night. I asked her to do the MC, and she, no hesitation, she was like, let's do it. Right. She brought her lovely daughter, Raleigh, along with her. But I could not, I've thought about canceling this program a lot. I could not have done it without you. Thank you so much for taking time out to MC, and just thank you for being such a wonderful friend. Just making sure I'm getting everybody. So the significance of having Colonel Whitmore is he's being modest, but he wrote my eval that actually got me promoted. So I cannot thank him enough for all of you. And he also traveled 1,680 miles from North Dakota to be here today in the rain, in the snow, in the sleet. Sir, I just cannot thank you enough for everything. You came into our office at a time that we really needed some strong leadership, and you turned everything around for the best. But I mean, I can't, words can express, I just can't thank you enough for coming all the way from North Dakota and being here with us today. My family. So I had Aunt Val and Aunt Sissy sit up front because they were at my basic training graduation 18 years ago. They flew from Virginia to Texas to see me graduate from basic training. And ever since then, they have been in my corner, always asking me how's the military going, where they send you next. just always checking on me.
Do you have to go?
Do I have to? Why? Yeah, Sissy was the one that said stick it out to retirement, because a lot of times I was ready to come out, and Aunt Val has always just been in my corner. I can't thank you guys enough. Aunt Val also made the drive from North Carolina and surprised me, and she helped us put the goodie bags together downstairs. Because I was a little late getting here, but she really pulled her sleeves up and really helped out. And I cannot thank you. And then I have my Uncle Steve, who always wants to talk to my commander. But has my best interest at heart and always is checking on me. And I can't thank you enough for being here, Uncle Steve. Thank you so much. I cannot leave out my sister and my nephew. I just want Anna to say So my sister also hit a milestone. She's celebrating 20 years at her job at Cox Table. She celebrated last week. So we just want to give her a hand. Along with my brother-in-law who couldn't make it today due to work, but he's celebrating a birthday next week. I just want to let him know. But without them, I really literally wouldn't be here because I'd still be in North Dakota trying to get back. My sister she's driven with me from North Dakota to Virginia, Virginia to Montana, Montana back to Virginia. She's picked me up from the airport numerous amount of times. She's sent me packages while I was deployed. She's watching my stuff while I'm going. She's all around awesome mother, sister, wife, and the backbone William, holding the house down while she's in Montana. Drop her off at the airport so she can get to Montana. And I had some stripes in my pocket to give you, but I'm just in the car. I wanted to say, a lot of times, when I was younger, I would hear people say, we got promoted, or we're moving, or we're retiring. But it really is a we. I cannot do this alone, and I cannot do it without everyone here. Amen. Especially my sister. It may seem small, but the huge things she's done, definitely would not be where I'm at if it wasn't for my family and my brother-in-law. Currently in college, he took time out of his schedule to come. I cannot thank him enough for being here. He's also our DJ today with the music. So I just want to thank him. He's also rode to North Dakota with me as well to come pick me up from North Dakota. So my sister, dad, and nephew have all made that trip. So we cannot thank you enough for being here. I think that might be everybody. And so for my parents, I say last but certainly not least, these two right here. They just celebrated 48 years, 49 years. My biggest supporters always. When I fly home from Baltimore, instead of making me wait in Baltimore to the next flight, they drove up to Baltimore with the help of my sister, of course, to come pick me up. They are always, whenever I need them, they would drop everything and come. They always are checking on me. I know they're worried because of this Germany assignment, but I trying to tell them it's not overseas, it's okay now. We're gonna get through it. But I just want to thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of today's ceremony and just being my support system. So thank you. I think that is everybody. I don't want to hold you guys too long because I know the weather. Up Church is going to come and close us out, but we do have some goodie bags, thanks to Bell, and we have some stuff that we would, we want everyone to take home, and everybody please get home safely in the weather. Please be safe. I'm just going to go through my notes one more time. I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking what we're talking about. Just want to make sure I thank everybody. And I'm just going to go around the room because I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here, for staying behind. I see you waving. Thank you guys. Thank you. I see y'all in the back. Thank you. And so thank you again. I just can't thank you enough. This concludes the formal portion of today's ceremony. On behalf of Colonel Whitmore and Senior Master Sergeant Sterling and her family, thank you for joining us for today's ceremony. Please join us downstairs to congratulate Senior Master Sergeant Sterling, take pictures, and we also have cupcakes and a small token of appreciation for
for you to take home. Thank you again for those who joined in person and on Zoom. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the Air Force song. The words are conveniently located on the back of today's program.